What's up, everyone? This is BigPowner, and right now I'm about to do a guide on Sirus. Um, I've played leagues where I did boss killing. I've done a lot of kills on Sirus, so I've gotten pretty good at the fight. I'm gonna teach you guys basically what it is that I do. Something I will say on Sirus is it is something that you kind of have to get a feel for, and once you get a feel for it, it will just become easier and easier. My recommendation, obviously if you're watching this video, you're looking for help as far as doing this fight. My recommendation is before you start practicing this fight, make sure your character is really well geared. The reason why is because if you do it in gear that can barely do it and you don't know the fight, you're just going to get smashed every time. If you wait till you have gear that's like basically overpowered for the fight, it's going to let you make some mistakes and it's going to give you a chance to actually get experience each time you're fighting him. The recommendation that I make to people, like my friends, is if you can't complete the fight and your gear is like not on like that, overpowered for the fight type of field, is let another friend kill him for you or have someone do a bossing service. The reason why is because in order to get into that better gear, you need every chance you can get to get currency, to get loot, to get up to that gear that's going to make it so that you can learn hard fights and stuff like that. So that's kind of just like a pre advice type of thing that I'm just putting out there. I think it's I don't think it's good to go in with poor gear or gear that can't even do it or can barely do it when you don't know how to do the fight. I feel like that's just going to discourage you. So make sure that when you're practicing this fight, you're doing it in a way that it's going to give you a chance to actually complete it and learn the fight. The other thing that I'll say is this is one of those fights that it's kind of like the beginning of the fight is really easy. This is a 4-stage fight. You basically take him down a quarter of his life, and I'm doing this on Awakener 9. So this is as hard as it gets. Um, so it's basically 3 phases followed by a final phase, which he heals. So you have to do a quarter of his life each time, and this is another reason why having a build with sufficient damage and defenses is actually going to make the fight much easier, because if you don't have enough DPS, it's going to go into more phases, which is just going to give you more of a chance to fail, making the fight just infinitely more difficult. So you need some decent gear, some good DPS, enough defense that you can make a mistake and not die to being touched by anything. So the beginning of this fight, every single time started it the exact same way. You're going to go downwards. There'll be a little hole. You can kind of go through here. He's always going to be casting his skill. You just want to get to him as fast as you can. He will always start here. So for like with this build, I'm going to start like pre-prepping attacks. Anything that's on the ground, like these little flame things, they can be really annoying. The key to this fight is to always be rotating circularly. If you can, if there's no effects around him, you want to be close to him. The reason why is because he shoots straight shots, which when he does that, he'll say die or something like that. It gives you a chance where you can freely DPS him if you've been rotating around him. If you're far away from him, you're not going to get that chance as quickly because you're not going to really know where it is. Another key to making this fight easy is to stay close to him. Sometimes there's a little bit of luck in this fight, and the little bit of luck in this fight is that there's effects that sometimes can be close to or overlap, or there's a little bit of randomness to like ground effects and stuff like that. So one of the things I don't like is he casts a thing that leaves flame on the ground. If you're not good at the fight, wait till that goes away, because then that stuff won't be in the fight with you. So as you see, I'm just staying close to him, rotating around him. That right there, so there's the circle and there's that long pillar. So the long pillar, he's going to rotate sides that he's attacking on. You just rotate around him. Easy, easy, easy. Stay close to him. You just barely move over and he misses you. Okay, so that long pillar thing that he did, he's going to do that in every stage besides the first one. And this is the flame thing that I'm talking about. I normally will wait for these to dissipate if I want to make the fight easier. The reason why is because he puts his circle in a zone, and he pushes out these large blobs out of the circle. So you don't have to worry about those. But if those flame things are already on the ground, they will stay on the ground until they expire. Now that they've expired, I want to start the fight again. So I would try to start the fight again. I'll honestly, if I'm doing it myself, I'll just jump right in because I'm confident. I know I can beat him. If I was in really poor gear and it's already hard for me, like say like really early league, I might be more cautious like that. But that's like a tip for you if you're trying to learn the fight and you want the best chance of being successful. So we've completed 2 stages, gotten him to 50% life. We'll now go into a third. Each stage, that ring that he drops on you is going to add a stage. So the first one is on the second stage. The third stage, it will have 2 circles. The final stage, it's going to have 3 circles. The thing is I never used my movement speeds flask except for that. Specifically because sometimes it can have like really crazy positioning, and the meteor will pretty much one-shot most characters. When I played Boss Killer, so this is kind of like one of those like situations where, you know, you're gonna see these effects are on the ground, so it's kind of limiting the scope of where I can dodge to. So now you see this is stage 3, so there's 2 circles. It's just basically making it take longer for me to get out of it. So he'll get down to 25%, he'll go invulnerable, and then it will start the next stage of the fight. So this is the last stage of the fight. He will heal to 75% life. The biggest thing I have to tell you on this stage of the fight, you absolutely have to pay attention to where he is. You have to keep your sight on him. Anytime he takes distance away from you, you have to close that gap so you can see where he's going. Because he has tons of mechanics where if you don't see which one he is, you're going to miss out on either a chance to DPS him or he's just going to off-screen kill you. So really important to try to pay attention to where he is. And now I got to restart the fight. Okay, so I got hit. I'm just going to let my HP come back. I've got enough regen that'll come back. I want to have full flasks. I mean, I don't really care that much about dying, but for the sake of the video. Alright. So he takes a little bit longer to come down on this final stage. So if you're prepping damage, keep that in mind. Okay. So this is a stage, say I don't know where he is, I'm just going to move around because he's going to pop out like that. So, and this is the third one. So you got to watch where he goes. So I saw where he went, so this one's able to be damaged. So that's a time that I get to DPS him. So when he does that die thing, you want to rotate around him. It's pretty much like this, the same thing always. Just always follow him. Oh! I was a little bit late on that. Okay, so getting back to the fight. It's actually kind of good that I died. We can talk about this. Getting back to the fight, the important thing is to close the gap as quickly as possible. This is a dangerous point for a lot of people because if you don't get back to the fight, first of all, he can off-screen you with the big laser. Like, being close to him, it's really easy to dodge. The difference is on the final stage when he does the laser, it's multiple beams. And the difference is on every other stage when he does the laser, it's a small laser for 1. And for 2, it doesn't rotate. When he goes into the animation, it stays there. In this one, he will rotate and follow you with the beams, so you have to rotate more in order to avoid it. So you want to close the gap very quickly, if possible, to give him the least amount of chance so that you can start keeping track of him. Okay, so movement speed flash, that was kind of a long run. As soon as it pops up, go in. I saw where he is, and now I get to DPS. Okay, so he went over here.
My mana is gone.
Oof, ground effect. See what I'm saying? Like, as long as you keep track of him, and you got to watch where the exits are so you don't go along. Okay, so saw where he went. Get to DPS him. He went back here. Went down here. Oof. I'm out of flasks, so I'm gonna have to kind of hard way it. I have to manage my mana because I ran out my flasks. That's one thing is like sometimes he'll. He's dead. Oh, another tip. So if he's really low, if he's below 10% HP, make sure you always have a culling. So like when you're rejoining the fight, this is something I always keep for him. So culling strike, you can just sock it into any skill that hits, and then it'll just one-shot him instantly. So now I just have to hit him one time. Bam! And there's some money. So obviously, you know, I made some mistakes in the fight. I didn't manage my flask very well. Like honestly, like for this fight, if I wasn't really comfortable in it, I would bring extra. I would bring an extra mana flask because I ran out of mana on that. But it was kind of good that I made mistakes because you got to see a few things rejoining the fight, and also the little tip for having culling strike. It's kind of a good thing, and 10% is a lot more than what he had left. Like he was really low. Like I could have literally just jumped in there, got my Mirage Archers up, and then like let him kill me, and my Mirage Archers would have finished him. But depending on what character you're playing, you know, having culling strike, you can also pick it up. In general, it's a good thing that you can pick up. You can pick it up in jewel clusters just so it's always up. But if you don't already have culling strike, that's a little tip. You can socket it in. I hope this video has been helpful, informative, and hope that it helps you guys to learn this fight and start tackling it and making currency on it. This is one of the things I've been speed running this league, and I've been making a ton of currency. I haven't been that lucky. In fact, I think this is my best drop of the league so far. Yeah, 7.1 exalts. My best drop up till now was 6.4. So that's pretty nice. Anyways, hope this guide has been helpful. If you're not already, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you have any questions, if I didn't cover anything or I wasn't clear about anything, go ahead and leave a comment, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching. Peace.